certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day.
Brilliant.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rankum. I was about to say something completely different. I stopped myself.
I've done that before.
But yeah, we've got a fun topic. We're going to be doing about Amy Adams because this week The Woman in the Window got released on Netflix. And over here I've got Jordan. Jordan, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be talking about a great actress in Amy Adams here tonight.
And not in the sun tonight, we've got Chris. Chris, how's it going?
You're right.
Happy to talk about Amy Adams, one of my favorite actors working today. Have a pleasure to see in the movie theater and on stage, actually.
And also here we've got Stephen. Stephen, how's it going?
It's going well, and yeah, Amy Adams is one of my favorites too, so looking forward to this.
But how this works is we're going to go around and nominate a movie that we think belongs on a top 12 list. How this is going to work before the person doing the nominating, their movie won't count. It'll come down to the other three if it gets on the list. If people haven't seen a movie, their vote doesn't count against it, so we only count for the people who have seen it. So say I nominate Bob the Builder, the movie, or something like that, and everyone hasn't seen it, then it doesn't make the list.
I saw that twice in theaters.
But with that being said, Jordan, what is the first movie you're going to bring up?
Alrighty, so I had a little bit of doubt which movie I'd go with first, but let's go with doubt. You know what I mean? There's several of these. There's just a powerhouse of actors, and this is another one, man. I mean, that Meryl Streep, not too shabby. Philip Seymour Hoffman, he's got a little bit of a skill, doesn't he? Amy Adams, and then of course this is really the thing that piloted Viola Davis, another great actress. So it's a movie that I think also of course tells a story that needs to be told, and everyone here is just so on point here. It can be tough to watch at times, but you can't deny the power that is within it. Doubt, I think, definitely makes the list.
Chris, what do you say about Doubt?
That one, my number 8, yes. And we talk about movie, yes, it's great. Amy Adams is so good in this, playing the innocent nun, like being caught in the whole gossip war between Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman. And she does a great job. It's one of her first roles that really caught my attention when Jenny introduced her. And every woman movie, she stand out just as much Meryl Streep, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and much Viola Davis. And if I was with the best supporting actor, it would have been down between Viola Davis and her. Like, they both great performance that year. And she definitely wanted to deserve the nomination for such a small role, for a stand-up role.
Stephen, what do you have to say about Doubt?
Yeah, it's a great movie. The performances are great. She's a little more low-key than Streep and Hoffman, but she's still great and still quite important to the movie. So, yeah, it's a yes.
I have no doubt that Doubt is making this list. But yeah, I love this movie. I haven't seen this in a while. I've logged it on Letterboxd, so I must have seen it at least once. So, but Doubt is the first one to make the list. Chris, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
I think I'm at my number 1. I was surprised Jordan didn't bring this up, but I think it's her best performance. I think she should have got Oscar nomination for this rival. Like, this is a film that a lot of it Western her, and she gives the netted performance of talking about dealing with her past, and the way she brings her role, despite how you felt that a little bit at the ending, it's that incredible. The fact that the Oscars number for this is still outrageous to me, because this is not only to show her depth and emotional depth to it, she has humor and humanity, This is what I will remember Amy Adams for always, and it's the performance that wowed me, made me emotional. I got teared up to talk her daughter, the twist at the end. Like, one of the fantastic movie about the knee down and my that's probably my favorite because like one of I love this movie. Yeah, that my favorite Amy Adams performance, Survival.
Stephen, what do you say about Arrival?
Yeah, I think the movie is a masterpiece. It's in my top 10 of all times, and it would have been my number one pick for her as well. So yeah, definitely yes.
Yeah, I watched this for the first time yesterday. Actually, it's a good movie. I mean, as to whether she should have got nominated for it, I don't have any problems with the actresses that were nominated for Best Actress that year. I would have put Amy Adams at six. So just outside of that. But with that being said, Arrival is good, and I'm saying yes too. So Arrival is going to arrive onto this list. Jordan, what do you say about Arrival?
I mean, I would have said no. Just kidding. Don't kill me. No. Yeah, definitely no argument here, guys. Arrival. She's so good in it. She's one of those actresses too that like it could have not been as good if without a powerful performance from her as well, because she can sell so much with just her eye, just the way she maneuvers and everything. So absolutely, Arrival.
Stephen.
I would have taken Meryl Streep out because I thought Florence Foster Jenkins was a terrible
I
movie.
agree with that. The movie is good, but she wasn't. I don't know.
I thought Meryl Streep was great in the movie. The movie doesn't have to be good to be nominated. I think Meryl Streep was great in the movie. I mean, I'm saying this is someone who loved Florence Foster Jenkins. So, Stephen, what is the next movie you're going to bring up?
Okay, since Arrival is now taken, I will bring up. I don't know how many of you have seen. He did a movie with Frances McDormand called Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day, which I think is which I thought was really great. You know, the relationship that develops between her and McDormand is great, and yeah, I love the movie.
I have not seen Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. Jordan, what about you?
I have seen it. It is a really fun movie. It's a movie I do recommend, and I like that we're showing some love to it here. If we're doing top 12 though, it's right kind of outside for me personally. So I do say no, but it is a fun one. So glad it was brought up.
And Chris, what would you have said about Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day?
Yeah, with Malcolm, I have not seen it. What's on my list of film to watch from her that I haven't seen, but I couldn't find it anywhere along with another film that Hollywood me.
I don't know if you have Cinemax, but it's available on Cinemax.
But with that being said, I'm going to move on, and for my first pick, I'm going to bring up Catch Me If You Can. This is one of my very favorite movies. This is really early on in Amy Adams' career as well, and she just shows, and this is a great performance, and she shows sort of that this person's going to go far in business, but yeah. Catch Me If You Can is a great movie. I love Leo as Frank Abagnale Jr. and Tom Hanks in this. And yeah, so Jordan, what do you say about Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, I'm going to concur with you, man. Like you said, I mean, obviously you got Leo, you got Tom Hanks, two of my favorite of all times. But like you said, this is early on where I don't know if I had seen her in something else, but you still walk away going, "Oh, she's doing something." Like she rules her scenes that she's in. You know, like when he's kind of confessing to her and shit's about to go down. Like she's so good in that. And even with the powerful cast, you know, Christopher Walken too, you still walk away with her in the back of your mind. You know what I mean? And was kind of that first real sign of like, oh, she can rock whatever she's given. So I'm with it, man. Great movie too. I love that movie.
Chris, what do you say about Catch Me If You Can?
Yes, I love Catch Me If You Can. Like, this is probably my favorite movie. I love DiCaprio's performance. I love Tommy. I'm watching King Play Dad, which is fun little realm, and like I love Captain McCann. But also I forget probably my introduction to Amy. I don't know think about it with Captain McCann. And Tina Great in it, very small role, and she stand out. The whole cast stand out. Yes, love this movie for start to finish.
Stephen, what do you say about Catch Me If You Can?
I love the movie, but her part's pretty small, so I probably would have said no just because of that. But I know it makes it on anyways.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those ones. As I said to Jordan, because he asked me specifically about this one.
Okay.
As long as she's credited in the movie, it counts. It doesn't matter how big the part is.
I'm not arguing that it's
I know.
that.
But with that being said, Jordan, what is your next movie you're going to bring up?
All right, next one, bringing up a little bit of a biopic for you. The Fighter is what I'm going to bring up here. Wahlberg, Christian Bale. Again, I feel like kind of like I was saying with Arrival. I feel like someone else might have taken this role, and it might have been potentially forgettable. As the doubting one, he's got to put up with a bunch of stuff here, but she has just as many moments as even Bale, and kind of they both seal the show from Wahlberg, to be honest with you, as just really pivotal moments that again, just adds to the lineage of Adams. And really good film. And if you're ignorant like me to actually what the story is, I didn't know Christian Bale was going to die or not. So I was also very into the movie in general because I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know the real story. So that also added to it. But yeah, Adams is great in it. So I had to mention The Fighter.
Chris, what do you say about The Fighter? Chris? I think he's frozen.
He's thinking hard. Oh, I thought he was thinking hard.
Stephen, I'll go to you. What do you say about The Fighter?
Yeah, it's a yes for me. It's a great movie. I thought she was great in it. I was kind of rooting for her to win over Melissa Leo, to be honest. So yeah.
I believe we've got Chris back. What do you say about The Fighter?
I love The Fighter. This is probably another one I love for Amy Adams. Anything I love Melissa Leo, and really I think I would also give Amy Adams name with her and Bale at the guard. Really great scene back and forth between them to see with her and Marcus. It's a great scene at the top there to her. It's a great movie. I said it before. Like one of the few times I said, watch the movie. I said to my brother when watching that Prince Bale was running off. I only done that twice. Well, I did some of them running off as well. Riley David was another one. But yeah, great movie, great pick. Probably one of my favorite David Russell movie, and probably like top 5 Amy Adams performances.
But yeah, as at 12:14 p.m. New Zealand time, I have seen 30 minutes of The Fighter. So the first 30 minutes is good. I still would have had to count for it and not seen it because I haven't seen the whole thing, but that doesn't matter. The Fighter does make this list. And we go to Chris for the next nomination.
I gotta go with a delightful performance from her. Probably not the two that delightful, but I'm going to go with the one that charmed me in a way, and I don't reach through for this part of the time. I didn't get intended. It was probably a delightful performance for her. She did a great performance movie, whatever, but she brings the likability to get down. A great team voice as well. I had pleasure seeing her into Wood like a couple years later on stage, and she was doing that. But she is so likable, so charming, very naive, but very funny. Like how do you know some number she's and a lot of times little joke works, and it just works, and it's surrounded by a great cast for it. Patrick Dempsey is really good. Jake Boston, despite he doesn't get to kill, he probably get killed at the end, but he really good at Prince Edward, Timothy Ball, Susan Sarandon is really good. And I had to bring up Chances. It's probably the most delightful performance for it that I love rewatching every time, and I can't wait for the sequel to come out.
Stephen, what do you say about Enchanted?
It's another yes. Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that you fell in love with her. She's delightful in it, and it's a great mix of animation and live action. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have not seen Enchanted yet. It's not on Disney Plus for
Wow.
me. But
It actually
it's
isn't over here either. I looked for it.
but I expect to be put on there short at some stage when the movie sequel comes out. But Jordan, what do you say about Enchanted?
Yeah, no, I'm with it, man. Definitely put it on the list. She's so charming. She's so lovable in this, man. And then James Marsden too. They both were really good at finding the right balance of humor without making them too dumb, just lovable. And that's why even though we are several years later, hopefully it's not too late. But we're still all kind of excited for a sequel. You know what I mean? And hopefully it doesn't Zoolander 2 itself, but I'm still looking forward to it. So yeah, Enchanted for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully it didn't been down more to do in the sequel than what you were given the first one.
I mean, the first Zoolander wasn't good too, so I knew the second one was bad.
I like the first one.
But
Stephen, what is your next movie going to bring up?
All right, I'll go with another science fiction movie that she's in. Her. That's movie. She's a supporting character, but I think she's great in it, playing someone who used to be in a relationship with Joaquin Phoenix's character and is still friends with him. And I love the movie. I love science fiction as a genre, and this is a great example of science fiction.
Yep. I'm going to be a complete broken record. I haven't seen it. Jordan, what do you say about her?
No, I'm gonna give this one a yes as well. Supporting character here, and that's kind of another thing to give her props on. I could see an actress who usually has a bit of a media role, maybe saying no to this, but she probably just saw the script and was enchanted by it, if you will, enchanted. So yeah, no, she's really good. I love the story, science fiction, but it's all too realistic too in this kind of science fiction world. It's definitely it's happening more or less already. So this is a really good one. Yeah.
Chris, what do you say about her?
Yeah, her role is very small, but very effective in the movie. I mean, the whole movie is great. I love Joaquin Phoenix. I love Scarlett Johansson's performance in it. I think the lead anymore about I had to remember which one more was in it. But it's a great movie, great sci-fi, very touching story. Like every acting performance great now. And yeah, I had to take it. Yeah, to her. One of my favorite underrated movies that a lot of people have seen.
I'm going to continue the trend of picking a science fiction movie because she's been in a lot of them apparently. And this specific science fiction movie is about an alien that crashes on our planet and ends up saving it. It is Man of Steel. Amy Adams is great as Lois Lane. And Man of Steel is probably easily up there in DCU movies with I know there's people out there that don't like Man of Steel, but out of the DCU, this is probably the movie that she's in it the most, and I think Man of Steel belongs on this list. Jordan, what do you say about Man of Steel?
So I'm not quite one of those people, but I'm gonna personally say no on this one. I'm not gonna be mad if it's on the list. It is definitely, I think, one of the better recent DC films, and it's kind of close to the outside of my list of the 12. I just think more doesn't work, and there's other films that I'd rather petition for it. But it is a good film. If my brother was on here, he probably would have mentioned it already. So we'll see how it goes.
Chris, what do you say about Man of Steel?
I am one of the biggest defender of Man of Steel. I love it. I think It's the only movie where I think she does well explained. I sadly think that she gets wasted in both Batman vs Superman and especially the version. But I think she is down here trying to be great. Like Shannon great, but super great. You can pick and choose out Danny, but I think a great Superman movie, and my preferred Superman movie. I'm not the biggest fan of Christopher Reeve Superman. So yeah, get to Man of Steel.
As Chris slowly drifts towards Krypton again, Stephen, what do you say about Man of Steel?
I would have said no. I think the first half of the movie is great, but I think it turns into a Michael Bay movie in the third act. And she's great in it. But the movie itself I thought was so. So I would have said no.
But with that, Man of Steel does not make the list.
Which one on my list I didn't make it?
And we go back to Jordan.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is actually on the TV in front of me. American Hustle. We're talking about Russell before here. Again, great eclectic cast here. And really, too, you can almost name a dozen, good little performances in here as well. De Niro pops up for a quick minute. He's fantastic in the little bit he's given. But, again, Adam shows a different another side. Talk about a versatility from Enchanted to The Fighter to something like this. They're all different human beings. And really fun kind of cons and stuff going on, and can they get away with it? They're not all great human beings either, but that's always fun to watch as well. So American Hustle.
Chris, what do you say about American Hustle?
Another film on my list. Hopefully we can get this. I love American Hustle. I think while not as great as The Fighter, I do like American Hustle a lot. I think the humor of Bradley Cooper is great. Play asshole. He shall not be named as his boss is really good. The fishing story is very funny in the movie. And I think Amy Adam played so well with Kristen Bell, they're back and forth. I think this is maybe the second best time they play off each other well. I will mention later on my list. I think they're another great duo performance with them, that they play off each other well. And I think everybody is great. David Wren is really good and it's underrated role in the movie. And Robert De Niro is great. Yeah, so get to American Hustle.
Stephen, what do you say about American Hustle?
I liked it. I don't love it, but I liked it just enough for me to say yes. I don't think it deserves to be in the top half, but maybe in the 10 to 12 range. I think it's good enough. So I'll say yes.
I haven't seen this in ages. I can't actually remember if I've seen the whole thing yet or not. I probably would have given it a no, but it doesn't matter. It makes the list. And we move on to Chris for the next nomination.
Okay, I don't think my touching stuff for later, but I'm going up a performer I think that she really did in, and she stand up against two other great performers in the movie, playing the wife of the guy from Scientology. I don't even get the actor. I think this is another great performance, play cold calculating, you know what, and she does a great job with it. Her doubting Marky Phoenix wanting to be part of Scientology, and she does it so well. Philip Sidney Hartman, probably my top three favorite performance for him. Marky Phoenix and Val, they all rate each other. Yeah, they're about Scientology, and I'm not a big fan of that, but I think it's such an interesting topic, and I think she does so well play against both Marky Phoenix and Philip Sidney Hartman, especially the scene with her and Marky Phoenix. I heard Denny ask him at point, questioning him wanting to be a part of this, and that the calculations he does in this film, and I had to bring out the massive because not a lot of people think that this is probably like top 6 favorite performance from her, for me personally.
Stephen, have you seen The Master?
I have seen The Master. when I first saw this in theaters, I thought it was really the acting was strong. It's impeccably well made. But I thought it was kind of dull. But I just today I didn't have time to watch the whole movie, but I was trying to skim through it to see if I still thought it was kind of dull, and actually find it to be fairly compelling. So I will say yes to The Master.
Yeah, I have not seen The Master. Jordan, what do you say about The Master?
No, I'm going to give it a yes and put it on the list here. I do kind of agree with Steven there. It's a little self-indulgent. It's a little long at points to where you are kind of like, all right, there's some great moments, but let's wrap it up or let's move along here a little bit. But when those moments do hit, and there's just some great stellar moments from the three leads, Hoffman, Phoenix, and her, it is a masterpiece to some degree here. So yes for The Master.
But with that, we've got 4 spots left, and Stephen, it's
Well,
up to you.
okay, 2016 was a great year for her because not only did she star in Arrival, but she also was in Nocturnal Animals, which I think is a fantastic movie. And she's great in it. It's incredibly haunting, and it's another movie I really love.
And yet another movie I haven't seen. Jordan, what do you say about Nocturnal Animals?
Malcolm, why you got to put me in these positions, man? Steven's gonna hate me. I'm not. Again, it's good movie. There's just there's something about it that I don't know. It's a no for me. The performances are great, but the storytelling I thought was a little kind of, I don't know. Maybe I need it is a movie I feel like I need to rewatch. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm being unfair, but it's a no for me just by a hair.
Chris, what would you have said about Nocturnal Animals?
It's like even I have to say no. I mean, I like the movie and I love Jake Gyllenhaal performance. I love Michael Shannon performance, but I did not love the performance that much, and it kind of happened to me a little bit when rewatching it. I think her storyline is the worst part of the movie, and it just so bogged down. And I want to go back to Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Shannon's storyline more than her.
So I'm looking, but it's on me to nominate. I'm looking at this list. There's a lot of drama, science fiction. We need some whimsy. We need her with some feathery companions. And we need the Muppets. The 2011's The Muppets belongs on this list. Look, when I heard Amy Adams was going to be in a Muppets movie, I mean, I wasn't talking about movies back then, so I didn't know what to think. But this is just one of those ones, like when I heard they're bringing the Muppets back, because I think at this point, the last Muppets movie before this was either Treasure Island or one of the straight-to-DVD ones. Yeah, which was all the way back in '97. So and they needed some good human characters and to balance out. And I think Amy Adams and Jason Segel play off each other perfectly. And with a whole bunch of cameos from Jack Black, Jim Parsons, and all that pop up throughout this movie. This is just a story and great story, and I didn't know that I needed an evil version of the Muppets until this movie. But Jordan, what do you say about the Muppets?
I'm going to give it a yes. This is just, again, a really charming movie here. I was trepidatious myself here because it could have gone the other way where it's like, it's fine but forgettable, like a lot of recent kind of reboots, Addams Family, Scoob. But this, I think you can just tell this wasn't done, I feel, because we got to hurry up and do a Muppets movie. I feel like the love was there. The charm was there. Jason Segel and her are fantastic in it. You've got your cameos. You've got the laughs. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a yes.
Chris, what do you say about the Muppets?
You stole my next pick. This would be my next pick. I love the Muppets. This is like, I grew up on the Muppets. I I watched a lot of Muppet movies growing up in the 90s, and I loved this one. I had laughs. I had one of the best audience watching the movie. The Jim Austin cameo that's big plot, but I love every moment of it. And it's a good thing to see good. Also, a really good Muppet character. The Rainbow Connection moment where they all come together still gets me every time we watch that clip, and like get me emotional. So yeah, time to think to play the band, or time to rap in the Muppet. So yeah.
And Stephen, what would you have said about the Muppets?
So I knew this was probably going to be brought up. So I actually saw this movie for the first time today. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I knew I was going to enjoy it because Jason Segel and Amy Adams are just perfect casting for something like this. And yeah, and she actually doesn't have a whole lot to do, but she's just utterly delightful in this, anyways. So it's it's definitely a yeah. Would have been a yeah.
Jordan, what is your next nomination?
All right, I think Chris brought it before, and I didn't even think about this. My 2 nominations in a row involve her and Christian Bale really playing well off each other. So I'm going to go with Vice from a couple years back here. I love that Adam McKay has kind of segued into these. There's still some humor in them. They're fun, but you know these more kind of grounded stories that actually have a little bit of oomph in the story here, and more dramatic, and with the mix of comedy here. And again, it's another role where I think she does it really well here. It's a role that could have been forgotten, but you know what I mean? When she's in those moments of, you know, telling him to you know, ship up or shape out, and you know, even later on in the story, and as they grow older and all throughout the tale, she's really good whenever you get back to her. And Vice in general, I think it's a really good movie.
Chris, what do you say about Vice?
And this was the film I was talking about. I'm not the biggest fan of Abbott with director. I've seen her and Brown playing off each other throughout the Shakespeare, so later they hate each other in bed at one of the best moments in the movie. The whole cast great. Bell is really good to Cheney. That was very great. Everybody gave great performance. I think Amy Adams gave a very understated performance where she not in it lost her stain stand out, and everything she shared with Bell is a great moment in the movie. And yeah, we need some creepy Dick Cheney on this list, so let's go with Vice.
Stephen, what do you say about creepy Dick Cheney, otherwise known as Vice?
I thought the movie was fine. I didn't think it was great. We only have 3 spots left, so because of that, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, this movie is not good. I mean, Amy Adams is fine in this movie. I don't think she should have been nominated for supporting actress. None of the actors should have, to be honest.
Bale's good. Come on.
No, he's fine. I can't think of anyone that should be nominated in place of Bale at this point in time, but that being said, it's easily a no. It's not going to make this list anyway. Chris?
You know what? Let's go with it. We need another Wednesday in here. And you know what? I enjoyed this series. And I think she easily the best part of the sequel. I don't even like the Museum 2 better than the Smithsonian. I think Amelia Earhart is so good in the film. And you know, it could have been over the top, but she brings so many Wednesdays to it. Making it so likable. Her back and forth with Ben Stiller is great. The chemistry is great. I really bought their relationship, and it's so good. Hank Derry is very funny. Johnny Depp cameo is funny. Everything is very funny. The Cutler stuff is really funny. I enjoyed this series, and this probably my guilty pleasure. This series that I enjoy rewatching the most on TV. Especially the Austin Crowder top favorite cameo scene. So yeah, like a meeting too. Brandon Mysterio, we need more Wednesday on this list.
So, Chris, what do you say about Night at the Museum?
The museum? I said yes.
Stephen, what do you say about Night at the Museum?
I have not seen it. I've only seen the first one.
this is a yes for me. I love this movie. While this may not be one of the best ones in the trilogy, the first one is still the best. But I love Amy Adams as Amelia Earhart. So yeah, Jordan, it's on you. What do you say about Night at the Museum 2?
I would personally say no. These are all fine movies. All three of them are fine. Like kill a couple hours, lots of fun characters, but it's not in my top Adams for me.
Stephen, what is the next movie you're going to bring up? We do have only 3 spots left.
And we're going to my honorable mention now. And you can know it's a bunch.
I'll go with Julie and Julia, which another movie I really loved, and she and Meryl Streep in dual storylines are both great. And yeah, it's another movie I really love.
I mean, you stole my next nomination. This is literally the one I was going to go for next. But yeah, Meryl Streep may have been nominated over Amy Adams in 2017, but they work together perfectly in this movie. And yeah, Julie and Julia is a great movie. I'm saying yes. Jordan, what do you say about Julie and Julia?
Yeah, this is a little bit more of the whimsy I can get behind and say does deserve to be on the list. I'm going to say yes as well here. You know what I mean? A more grounded performance, but they're both great in it, especially Adam. So yeah, I'll go with it.
Chris, what do you say about Julie and Julia?
I have to think I have not seen it yet. They're on my list. I think seen a few minutes of it and I like what I saw, but it's been a long time since I saw a few minutes on TV. But on my list, Amy Adams movies catch up with.
But it does make this list, and it's on me. 2 spots left. What do I want to go for?
I'm struggling on mine.
Well, I'm going to try and get a DCU movie on this list. So I'm going to go to the one that's next. I'm going to go for Batman v Superman. I don't care what you say. I like this movie. And like her role in this, while it is slightly smaller than what she did in Man of Steel, is still big enough to be sort of pivotal to what's happening because they use her to try and find out about Batman and all that, and I love this movie. Well, yes, I know that people who don't like Zack Snyder's like he ruined the movies and all that. I think this is good. It's much better than either of the Justice Leagues we got. So, yeah. Jordan, what do you say about Batman v Superman?
I'm torn. If it was earlier, I might have said no. I'm gonna give it a pass. I'm gonna say yes. I think Ben Affleck's a fantastic Batman. I love him in the role, and there's the good outweighs the bad. And I'm looking at what's left, and I'm like, all right, this will get a pass for me. I'll go with it, man. Batman v Superman, and Adams is good in the role and the parts that she does have.
Chris, what do you say about Batman v Superman?
I mean, I like the film. I know it's probably going to get for Steven. I would have gone with. I know it ain't film master. I would have gone with not just Snyder just the latest for the DC movie, but I mean, we got to 2, and I basically no, I didn't leave with Steven because I think I should try to get in one more really good supporting role and one Connie. So I should try to get on here. So I say no.
Stephen, it's on you. What do you say about Batman v Superman?
Yeah, I don't think any of the DCEU movies belong on this list. I mean, I think Batman v Superman was fine. I don't hate it. Although, like Man of Steel, it suffers from a lousy, you know, the way Doomsday is just forced into the storyline, and then there's Jesse Eisenberg's awful uh, performance. He's just incredibly miscast. But I think there actually are a few other really good Amy Adams movies. To so yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Jordan, what is your next nomination?
All right, so I'm going to nominate a little bit of a smaller film here. There's no superheroes, no cartoon animation. Sunshine Cleaning from like 2008. Her Emily Blunt, like I said, it's a smaller film. It's about people kind of finding their lives at a certain point, and I just thought it was a really well made film. It's one that I've been meaning to actually watch again recently here because it's something that's kind of been even before this list. Just it's been one of those movies. I'm like, I want to revisit that, and you know what I mean. And again, they both are really good in it. I feel like it's been a little overlooked in time, even in that year, maybe a little overlooked. So Sunshine Cleaning will be my next nom.
Chris, what do you say about Sunshine Cleaning?
I have not seen it despite how many people tell me it's good. I remember trivia questions about it. But yeah, I had this thing, even though I love Emily Blunt, I love her, and I love Anna Lockton, so I had this thing.
Stephen, what do you say about Sunshine Cleaning?
Well, I have a feeling it's not making the list, but I would have said yes. I'd like it. I do like it a lot. Also, 24 is one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and Marilyn Rice-Cub has a great supporting role in the movie.
Love her.
Yeah, she's great. She and Emily Blunt have great chemistry in that movie. So it would be yes for me, for sure.
Yeah, it's not making this list. I haven't seen it. I mean, if I didn't have to study for movie trivia this week, I probably would have tried catching up a lot more Amy Adams than what I would have. Chris, what is the next movie going to be?
You know what? I can't believe we come down to this. Right over there. Yeah, very small role, but she played opposite Raphael, and yeah, make out scene is a pretty funny movie. I gotta go tell you tonight, The Legend of Ricky Bobby. Like, I had to bring a comedy on here that is actually funny. Sacha Baron Cohen, very funny at Defense Driver. The whole headlight in the hospital things that cracked me up to this day. Riley great. The very good. And yeah, actually, it's a little bit funny movie. The thing that the plotting with between her both that was very funny. Like a really gross make-out scene that is we watch it funny, especially on TV. Like, but yeah, I mean, I have one other performer, but I want to bring up silly comedy like over Talladega Night.
Stephen, what do you say about Talladega Nights?
This probably would have been my next choice. I enjoyed this movie a lot. It's really funny, and I love Amy Adams, especially that one scene between her and Will Ferrell late in the movie.
Was that a yes?
Yes. Yes.
Was it yes? Yes. So this look, this is one that when I saw it on the list, I was like, wait, she was in this movie? I didn't know. I really do not remember her in this movie. I mean, even seeing her name and what her role was, I still don't remember her in this movie. I'm saying no. Plus, I'm not a big fan of Talladega Night, but that's another story. Jordan, what do you say about Talladega Nights?
So even though Talladega Nights now has a bad taste in my mouth because I accidentally said it was The Legend of Ricky Bobby, not Ballad, in the trivia, and it cost me the win, I'm still going to say yes, this deserves to be in there. I had it even higher on my list, but then I was like, like you said, she's not the biggest part in it. But I do remember her in it because, she is technically the kind of later on love interest, and so I do remember her in it. She's funny, like I said, great makeout scene, and I do love the movie itself, so it's making the list.
Ellen Ricky Bobby makes the list. You probably confused with the other Wolffield movie for a super long title, Anchorman: The Legends of Ron Burgundy. So.
I know. Don't rub it in.
Yeah.
But with that, we've got one spot left. Stephen, do you have the movie that's going to take it up?
There's now that we're down to only like a couple left. I'll go with the movie that was a critical darling. That was probably the movie that put her on the map. And that is the indie film Junebug. And she manages to do something that I would think would be really hard. She manages to be both annoying and lovable at the same time with this role, and Junebug would be my next.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep this short. I haven't seen it. Jordan, what do you say about Junebug?
For the first time tonight, I'm pulling that same card. I have not seen this. I'm sorry.
Chris.
I spent all today trying to find it on streaming, so I didn't have to pay money, and I sadly didn't have time to watch it on my list because everybody's been telling me to watch it, but not on the streaming service right now.
Which means it's on me. I do not know if I've got the movie that's going to fill it now either, but I'm going for another movie that she's done with Tom Hanks. I think Meryl Streep might have been in this too. I'm not sure. Charlie Wilson's was what I'm going to bring this.
Julia Roberts was in that, not Meryl Streep.
I knew it was another actor who's been in a lot of movies.
No trivia points for you, Malcolm.
I mean, if you don't know my record in trivia, I barely get trivia points anyway. So, but that being said, I think Charlie Wilson's War is a great movie. This is one that I haven't seen in a while. I think I watched this for a different Rankin episode actually. That was the first time I watched this, but I think this is a good movie. I barely remember what it's about, but it's on my. I know I've seen it. But yeah, Jordan, what do you say about Charlie Wilson's War?
I'm going to give it a yes. This was the next thing I would have brought up if it was my turn. It's an Aaron Sorkin script, so there's some really good dialogue in here. It is a good movie. I do remember, too, my memories of watching it for the first time because I was when Netflix did DVDs. Well, they still do DVDs for somebody that don't know. But when I was doing the DVDs for Netflix, I was very anal about returning them the next day to get the most bang for my buck and watching this about 4 or 5 a.m. because I was like, no, I got to return it because I'm trying to get the most DVDs in a week. So, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's a good movie.
Chris, what do you say about Charlie Wilson's War?
This one next on my list to mention. This was a film I was wanting to bring up. It was really good. A lot of it great. Tim Hoffman gave really good performance in this movie. The meltdown of his boss was one of the most funniest moments in the movie. And the story is really disturbing. And it's kind of like the whole Arceus thing. And yes, I love it. I love Tom Hanks in there. It's a really underappreciated movie, so yeah.
Stephen, what would you have said about Charlie Wilson's War?
I still get DVDs from Netflix. I mean, if I only relied on what's streaming, that's a lot of movies I wouldn't be able to have access to. I gotta be honest, I haven't seen this movie since it was in. So my memory of it is a little shaky. I do remember that I liked it, but I don't even really, even though I'm pretty sure she has a large role, I don't really even remember Amy Adams much. But I remember liking it, so I probably would have said yes.
Yeah, but with that, we have hit the 12 movies that will be making up this top 12. But we're going to talk about some honorable mentions. I'll go first on this. The reason I wasn't bringing up Justice League or Zack Snyder's Justice League is because she was not in that movie much for me to sort of put her in there, and her parts in the thing weren't actually that memorable. I had trouble with The Curve on my list. One thing I didn't know, she had a small part in Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. That probably would have been a Hail Mary pick.
Yeah,
and And same with Underdog. I probably would have had Underdog as a Hail Mary pick if it came down to that. Jordan, did you have any honorable mentions?
I feel like we hit most of all the major ones. If we didn't get to this, probably her first movie, Drop Dead Gorgeous, I would have mentioned. She's in that, and so I probably would have maybe mentioned that. Actually, probably would have brought up Justice League at this point. And the other two, maybe Leap Year. It's a fun little rom-com. It had its moments. And Hillbilly Elegy. It's got its problems, but, her and Glenn Close are pretty good in it. So, and then after that, I would have mentioned Trouble with the Curve myself.
Chris, did you have any honorable mentions left?
I mean, Tenacious D, Trouble with the Curve. I definitely cannot count Suborbs, even though that's probably my favorite film from her, that TV. But yeah, I mean, everything that especially. It's probably a deathbed availability allergy, but that's probably my least favorite performance for her. And then the movie, I cannot mention it. I mean, we got David Hansen, that probably, in the next couple of years, that probably will make the list. But yeah, everything else has been mentioned.
But Stephen, did you have any honorable mentions?
Only, well, you guys already mentioned Trouble with the Curve, and the other one that I might have brought up was Big Eyes.
Yeah, I caught that out my list at the last minute because I like her performance, but Crystal Wolf really.
That's one I haven't seen. I haven't seen that myself.
But now we get to the fun part of ranking this list. And how we do that is what we do is we write down on a board or a bit of paper, whichever is you've got handy, the movie you want at number 12, and then the one with the most votes will make it in there. In the event of ties, I have no idea what we will do because I don't. But probably run and panic, or but realistically, I'll get a reel up. But Jordan, what do you have at 12?
I have Julia and Julia is what I'm going to nominate for 12.
Chris.
Talladega Night, and I'll write you the whole title.
Stephen.
American Hustle.
Talladega Nights. Get that shit at the bottom there.
But I rather put Julia. If I have it in all of it.
I see what you did there.
Chris, what do you have?
Yeah, definitely I haven't seen it yet, Julia.
Stephen?
Still American Hustle.
Night at the Museum 2. Jordan?
Actually, we don't have Night at the Museum.
Yeah, we don't have Night at the Museum.
Yeah, you forgot to
put. I didn't put the subtitle. Oh.
We don't have it on the list.
Yeah, we have 13 films then if it's on there.
Shush. I thought it made the list. Anyway, Jordan, what do you have?
I'll just stick with Julia and Julia.
Yeah, Julia is going to be 9. Should be higher, but...
mean 11?
You mean 11? What's going on, Malcolm?
This hurts me, but the wall is so small. Really. Take into consideration of all, not the movie itself, so I did really high.
Julia, what is going on in my head?
Stephen, what do you have for 10?
I'm sticking with American Hustle.
Doubt. Jordan.
I didn't finish it. Charlie with Silton's War.
Chris.
Catch me, you can.
What you gonna do, Malcolm?
I'll change my vote to Charlie Wilson's War.
Over that.
I was going to get real up, but that made it easier.
Yeah, that was tough. Like, I love all of these movies, so like, and I think I covered how small her world is in the movie compared to this. But then again, I think, no.
All right. I've still got doubt. Jordan.
Her.
Catch me, you can.
Steven.
Still American Hustle.
We can go with Hustle now if you want, because I'd Hustle next.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I love when people make things easy on me.
Yeah.
I prefer the Roman fighting more in comparison to David Russell movie.
Jordan, what do you have for 8?
I'll stick with her.
Catch me, you can.
Steven.
The Master.
I put that.
Mm.
I'm just getting the real sorted.
You know what? Take mine to Master.
Never mind.
I would not take out Malcolm. What else we have?
Chris.
I'm not going to finish Technique again.
Steven.
I love the movie, but he said what he's like. He said she has a small part, so catch me if you can.
Doubt.
I guess we got caught. It's her. But catch me.
Oh, here goes my number 1.
Okay. Go to me last. I have to think about this one.
Steven, what do you have? Just to recap what we've got left, actually. We've got Doubt, Arrival, The Fighter, Enchanted, Her, and The Muppets.
Yep.
All right.
Steven, what do you have for 6?
I will go with The Muppets.
Sticking with Doubt.
Her.
I can't look at Muppets. I had to choose.
Waka waka.
Hey, look at this. Like, I'm between that and Doubt, and I'm like,
I am sticking with Doubt.
Sticking with her.
Chris.
you know what, Doubt?
And Steven.
Well, it's between Doubt and Her, then I guess I gotta go with Doubt.
I can't be doing that. Hi. Time to put it to bed. Okay.
Right. 4 left. We've got Arrival, The Fighter, Enchanted, and Her.
I know what my top 2 are.
Jordan and Chris are already going on Her. I've already gone Her too, so it doesn't matter what Steven has just written.
Well, yeah, I went with The Fighter.
Speaking of which, I never thought anyway that.
Also, I love the fact if you go from 5 to 4, it goes doubt her.
Never doubt her. Never doubt Miss Adams.
She hasn't been in a movie called Never.
Someday.
Someday.
How come no one nominated Serving Sarah with Matthew Perry? Just saying.
I haven't seen it.
It's. I mean,
that makes sense. Yeah, that also makes sense.
I mean,
I've seen 27 movies with her. That was my 27th pick.
I mean, it's one that I don't know if I've seen or not, but but I've got Enchanted. Jordan, what do you have?
I had Enchanted with you.
Ooh.
Stephen.
The Fighter, which means it's a tie.
Ooh.
And in this case, I am actually going to go for real.
Yeah, I was like, go for the wheel because
not taking my vote on that.
Yeah, these two I have ranked this way. So wheel it up and make Enchanted a bigger slice.
I mean, I love the Fighter. Don't get me wrong, but I like Enchanted more.
And plus, it's a better role for her.
Did you reason why I'm so excited for David Anthony to hear that thing again in the movie? I love the musical.
No love for the X with Zach Braff and Amanda Pete either. You know what? Psycho Beach Party.
She was also in The Wedding Date, which I saw, and it was such a mediocre movie.
I didn't see it. I just want to name an Adams movie in the background. I saw it and I was like, I still don't want to watch it in the background. And I went to American Hustle.
And you mentioned it, but I think Leap Year is pretty lousy too.
That's why I was like, this is what I would have went with if we had kept going. It has its merit.
You mentioned it. Hillbilly Elegy. They're not good.
We're running out, man. From what I've seen. I've seen 27. I was about to mention Justice League pretty soon.
Yeah.
Neither Justice League is a good movie in my opinion.
Oh, we're running out. I had 27.
I didn't even bother to watch Woman in Window because I heard it's tough for a bunch of people.
I'll watch it. I've seen enough bad horror movies on Netflix. I might as well watch that.
Oh.
Yeah, good ringing it, Malcolm. Yeah.
And now instead of going for number two, we're going to write down the number one, and which I think might end up being that everyone might actually will agree on because it's the only one no one has.
My number three was my number two, but my number one is still the same number one.
Jordan, what is your number one?
Serving Sarah. It's a rival.
Chris.
The one that made me stop the motion theater from her survival.
Stephen.
One of my favorite performances of all time, one of my favorite movies of all time, Arrival.
It is number 3 on my personal Amy Adams list. Man of Steel is better than this movie. I put Arrival.
No love for Lullaby.
Hey, if you haven't hinted yet, that'll probably be hot on my list at the end of the year.
But with that being said, we have reached the end of this in just over an hour. At number 13, we've got Night at the Museum 2. At 12, we've got Talladega Nights. At 11, we've got Julie and Julia. At 10, we've got Charlie Wilson's War. At 9, we've got American Hustle. At 8, we got The Master. At 7, we've got Catch Me If You Can. At 6, we've got The Muppets. At 5, we've got Doubt. At 4, we've got Her. At 3, we've got Enchanted. At 2, we got The Fighter. And number 1 is Arrival. But with that being said, until I do have a poll up on the Take 3 Facebook page for what you want to be next week's topic. But we're going to go around the horn and see where we can find everyone. Jordan, where can people find you online?
What's up, everybody? Yes, you can find me right here on YouTube if you want. The Pierce Go. We do some movie trivia, rather, podcast show about shows. We also usually do about a top 10 every week. We did Jason Statham last week. And then Pierce Wrestling Channel, some wrestling trivia, live wrestling as well from companies like RBW, Platinum Pro, actual wrestling matches on there as well that are exclusive. And, Twitter, JPierceO.
Chris, where can people find you online?
You can find my Facebook, YouTube. I try to have a few reviews up coming soon, and I have a couple matches coming up, so stay tuned on a bunch of leagues.
Stephen, where can people find you online?
Letterboxd, Facebook, Instagram.
But yeah, you can find me on Take 3 Productions, where I host Rankum every Saturday night. Next week's topic will be what you vote on in the poll. I think I already know what it's going to be, but I'm not going to jinx it. And have it take over afterwards. Personally, that's what I'm hoping. But you can also find me over on Full Metal. I host a few matches. And I host Full Metal Classics on Sundays. I really should pick that panel. I haven't picked it yet. I'm going to be competing in FBTL's league as well, just before Classic as well. And I'm also hosting Full Metal Random, which you can see Steve Messer take on Adelaide Spence and Scott Harvey in 2010's movies. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, until next week, keep listing shit.